Hi, I want to do a small docu-series of my experience with Hodgkin's lymphoma, which is cancer. I'm going to start on a little background of my symptoms and things, what made me realize something wasn't right. First of all, I'm 22 years old, so that's kind of a shocker, but I found out later that that's a common thing of young people getting Hodgkin's lymphoma. It started out where um, I did have a lump in my neck, and then other things like night sweats. I started having really bad night sweats, which is usually a sign of menopause. But of course, at 22, you're not going through menopause, so that was alarming. I had hot flashes. That's another sign of menopause, but that's alarming when the age and that go together. You know that they don't really go. I started to lose my appetite. I was losing a lot of weight. I started out around 300 pounds. As you can see now, I'm nowhere near it. Um, that was alarming because I ate a lot, and to not be eating at all kind of, hey, something's not right for you. And I about January, it was no, it was July 4th, 2012. It was the 4th of July. I was at a cookout, and the lymph node really started to give me issues. Like, it was really hurting. So a few days later, I was like, I need to go to the emergency room. This is hurting. I need to get this checked out. The emergency room, of course, told me that I had a cold or something, and that's what makes the lymph nodes swell, which of course it does. But in my case, it wasn't. Which you should always, get a second opinion, because I didn't at the time, and it prolonged it longer. And they gave me amoxicillin. I took that for 7 days, and I think it had an adverse reaction to it because it made the lymph node bigger. And I went to my primary care physician, and she also prescribed me other meds for bacterial infections because she thought that one maybe wasn't strong enough. So she tried other ones, and it had the same reaction. Of course, made the lymph node bigger. The lymph node that was swollen was about here. It was here because there's my scar. Well, it's this way. It's right there. And I went in. She sent me to see a specialist. So he tried to do an aspiration biopsy, which is they numb the area around the lymph node and on top of the lymph node, and they take a really small needle and they stick it in it, and they try to pull out the fluid that would be in the lymph node to try to send it off for a culture. And a culture will let you know what the fluid is, what is in the fluid, and what could be causing the blockage of the movement of the fluid, because your lymph nodes is to keep fluid moving and to keep flushing everything that's not supposed to be out. And they were thinking maybe it was clogged and it wasn't moving, so the needle wouldn't pull any out any fluid. So my doctor was like, hey, I need to do a more extensive biopsy. I need to remove the lymph node and send that off for a culture to see what that is. So on January 27th, 2013, I went in for the full biopsy. Of course, I showed you they removed the whole lymph node. There's my scar right there. Of course, I can't outline this. It's right there. And I came back a week later on February 1st and 2013, and I was just going. It was for a checkup to let me know what my results were. And of course, going in at 22, I had no clue that it was going to wind up being cancer. He was like, "Hey, this is Hodgkin's lymphoma," and I had never really heard of it, so I was didn't really know what it was. And I was just like, "Okay." So he was like, "That's a form of cancer, and you will need either radiation or chemotherapy to take care of it." And I kind of was just like dumbfounded. I didn't know what Hodgkin's lymphoma was. I knew nothing about it. I didn't know how I got it. I didn't know why I had it. It was a whole lot of questions. And of course, I went to the internet and I watched videos. I researched it. There is no cause for Hodgkin's lymphoma. It wasn't anything I could do to prevent. It's just something in my stripes that I was meant to have, something I was meant to go through. And I kind of was glad I did, because of course it made me a better person, and it made me have a better outlook on life. But anyway, back to what I was saying. he told me it was something I really need to take care of right now. It was nothing I could prolong and be like, let me think about it. It was something, hey, you need to take action right now. So he set me up with an oncologist, and I went to see him about a week later. He told me I needed to get tests done to get staged. Hodgkin's lymphoma is like most cancers, stage 1 through 4. This with stage 1 and 2, it's either one localized area or two at stage 3 and 4, which is more advanced. It's in 3 or 4 more areas within your body of lymph nodes. That Hodgkin's lymphoma is always in your lymph nodes, sort of like breast cancer. Breast cancer is in your lymph nodes here. And I went and got PET scans, which is you lay in a machine, they belt your arms down by your side, and you have to lay in this machine still for 30 minutes, like no moving, no nothing, and it moves like a micro inch every like 2 minutes. It was the worst part. It was horrible. And I had blood work done, and I had a CAT scan done. And when I came back for those results, I want to be in stage 3B. You can be in a class stage of A or B, and I was stage 3B, which means I had it in 3 or more places. It was in my neck, in my collarbone, in my esophagus, around my heart, and in my spleen on the side, on this right side. Of course, it was mostly on the side where it was. It had traveled all the way up because my spleen was completely filled with cancer. It was taken completely over. So we assumed that it started there and worked its way up, which was thankful that I caught it when it was here and it didn't make its way all the way up. Then I probably would have been all the way in trouble. So he said that I needed to get a portacath put in, which was, it wound up being right here. You can see it. I have a scar. And this is what a portacath looks like. It's really cute. It's kind of girly. It's purple. It's really small. It was about a quarter size. It might have been like maybe a $half size in right here. And this is a better picture of it. I kind of like this one. And it's purple. And the cord right there, it goes from the portacath all the way up to your collarbone. They inserted it right there, and then they curve it over your collarbone, and it goes down. It curves into your heart. Well, towards your heart, not in your heart, but towards your heart. And I had that put in. That was a hard process of healing because it's in an art space, like right on your boob, and when you sleep it kind of pushes it like this, and that really hurts. So after that healed, I was kind of glad because that kind of sucked too. And after that got put in, he let me know that I would need 6 months of chemotherapy. I would need it every other week for 6 months, so that was 12 treatments. They break 2 treatments up into a whole cycle, so I would need 6 cycles. I started about mid-February. I had my last one in July 26th of 2013, but I'll get into chemotherapy and the side effects and how I was feeling and things on my next video. I didn't do it while I was going through it because that's a very hard pill to swallow, and to be going in it and documenting at the same time, I think would have messed with me mentally a little bit. So I waited till I had grasped it all, finished it, started to recuperate my life altogether. Of course, I lost my hair, but the wig is great, so it was kind of okay for a minute. But um, that's it for their part 1 of my adventure with Hodgkin's lymphoma. So I will post a video either tomorrow or the day after, be either every day or every other day for a few series. It helped me when I went to the internet and saw people's, how they were feeling, what they were going through. It kind of helps you know what you're going to go through, and it gives you knowledge of things because I didn't know what it was before I got to the internet. I had never heard of it. So the internet is a great saver, and I just wanted to share my experience with somebody else and hopefully touch somebody else about this because it helped me become a better person. It made me, not that I was mean, but it makes you nicer. It makes you realize that little things aren't important. It's more of a bigger picture. So I'm signing off for today. It's about time for me to go to work, but it's okay. So I will see you guys later. Bye.